The following episode deals with mental health issues and suicide. Please, if you or your loved one need help, you can text or call 988 if you live in the United States, or go to suicide.org for more options to contact someone. Thank you.
In the year 1997, the future is in chaos and turmoil. Mankind is on the brink of extinction. Brave survivors band together and build a time displacement apparatus to receive a signal from a parallel future. This transmission is the Wundercast.
There's one team that kicks ass. They're assembled. They're the Wundercast. Never back down from the brass. Always start first. Never finish last. Had a mic speed, bit too fast. Oh no, they're out of gas. It's okay, they're just a podcast. They're the greatest. We're the
Welcome to the Wundercast, the official podcast of Wunderblog.com, the home of whatever. I am your host, Steven, and with me today, I have our favorite director of the Wundercast, the number one defender of the Marvel universe and the DC universe. From the
Michael Bay universe.
The Michael Bay universe that doesn't have an official cinematic title. It needs an abbreviation, MBU something. Come on. Maybe since Michael Bay is all about destruction, it should be called the Michael Bay catastrophe. You know what I mean? Let's go. With me today is Andres Meza, one half of the Meza Brothers directing team. And frequent guest on the podcast. He was bested in trials of trivia when last he joined us. But he's been allowed to return despite his performance.
I've made it up. I made up for it. I started playing a bunch of Sonic games because I lost because of the damn video game section. Screwed me up.
And we're here to pay tribute to someone who was very kind and very gracious, and graced this podcast with an audio clip for our outro that will forever be in our outro, and that means the world to me. We're here to remember Jason David Frank, and talk about his life a little bit and maybe how he impacted us. Before we begin, I have some raw audio from when he recorded our outro, and it's only 5 minutes or so, and I just wanted to play that so that we can just enjoy that and then launch our conversation from that moment on, and remember a little bit of how we felt at that moment when we got to be in the presence of the great Jason David Frank. Oh, also, I apologize for the audio distortion. It was crazy, and like the acoustics in there are crazy, so the audio is just a little weird, but it is you can't understand it.
What? How you like Wunderbar? Wunda. Yeah. Wunda casted. Wunda. Have you seen all my poetry stuff?
Yeah, dude, Diego showed me, man. They're awesome. Dude, wait.
If you want to do it as a poem.
I could even give you a better rhythm than Diego.
Yeah,
brother competition.
You're always disappear though. I end up gotta talk to your brother to get these.
No, because I don't do any social media stuff.
I know you do. All right.
I'm 100% artist.
Wundercast. Wunda? There you go. That's Wunda? Who really wants this tonight? Wunda. Okay, we're rolling? Wunda. All right. Wunda. What's up, everybody? It is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are listening to the Wundercast. What is it? Wunda? Wunda. I'll do it again. Wunda podcast or just Wunda? The Wundercast. Wundercast? Wunda. Wundercast. Okay, Wundercast. All right, you ready? Wundercast. What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are listening to Wundercast. I sent that to him. I was like, hey, let's take a picture for the brothers. He's like, fine.
That's the greatest picture.
Because he just saw our episodes. Like,
Yeah,
hell
yeah,
yeah.
What was it like being directed by the Mesa Bros on Omni-Boat?
It was great, man. I loved it.
Oh,
I had
damn
a
it.
great time. I mean, I'm glad I had a few lines that ended up being like a lot more than I thought, which was good. So it was like the first thing these guys really gave a chance to say, hey, let's do some acting stuff. Yeah, well, he didn't want me to do. No, really good. But it was great because it wasn't like action stuff. I mean, I like action.
And there's going to be plenty more. So
but I love it, man.
Oh no.
well, that's all like immigrants, but maybe we could get them a camera. Come on. But I definitely want to. I definitely want to work with you, man.
Yeah, I'd love to too, man.
You've been a hero for us all.
Get him a cameo, put him on commercial on television.
There you go. Now we're talking. This is one of you listening to your producers here. No, I don't. You know, when I met them, it wasn't like they're just good people, and I actually just said, hey, man, if you guys are working on it, like, well, we can put you in ommni-boat, and there was
There's a
a few
film
lines.
festival down in here called Borscht Film Festival. It was actually started by
Yeah.
a couple of my classmates. Yeah, no, and I watched. That's how I found
Is it
them.
Brett? And what's his name?
What's
his
Brett.
Brett
Brett
and
Lucas.
Brett and Lucas, yeah. Yeah, I'm down for that. When I'm down to do anything when the ommni-boat comes out.
Heavy doesn't get a free
Yeah,
credit.
they're trying to premiere for the festival this year, which is going to be like, I think, November or October. So let's see.
And the whole thing will be done. Everyone's got their own segments.
Everyone has their own segments. It's probably going to be a rough cut because they really want to get it for Sundance. Sundance has been asking for it for next Sundance. So they're just going to do like a
So I want to go wherever you guys go. I'll pay my
For sure. Sundance would be awesome to have you there.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Because you know all the other actors be like, I'd be like, hey, cool. Hey, thanks for watching my movie. They'd be like, bro, you were in it for like 4 minutes. Thank you. Appreciate it. I took over the brand. Everybody would say, did you see Jason David Frank's movie? That's what I'm trying to brand.
It's part of the politics. You were in it for 4 minutes, but you got top
I'm
billing.
gonna
You know, that's how it works. That's how it works.
But they only put one clip in the trailer.
The 4 minutes.
They put one little clip in the trailer. They should put me more in the trailer.
Yeah. No, we will. You'll get a whole. You're gonna get your name and everything when they do the trailer. We did
The
our own
entire
trailer.
trailer is just him, and then he's only in 4 minutes. That's the way to do it.
For sure.
You need to watch this movie for these 4 minutes.
I'm
Like
excited.
Grindhouse style.
Yeah, so are we, man. It's like we were really nervous about the monster. It came out awesome, even better, way better than I expected. I'm a big negative guy, so like it came out way better than everything. So
Dude,
it's
I
gonna
gotta send you, I forgot.
Aw.
I did a short film. It's like 8 minutes, and it's called In My Head. And I play all different 8 characters. I play anxiety. I play.
was this
you know,
part of the speech?
Yeah, but I don't put it out yet. It's like it's really good, man. Like if we did, I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
It's a rough cut.
send it to my
But I
brother.
play all different characters in it, and it's in rhyme. It's like an 8-minute poem, so everything I'm talking, but it wasn't like in rhyme. It was like if I said in rhyme, in time, or whatever. Yeah, like it was actually harder to keep that conversation neutral without trying to rhyme.
Yeah.
But I did it. I'll send it to you. I
Please,
got a rough
please
cut.
do.
I'll send it to you.
Please do,
I'll
man.
send it to your agent.
And I'll give you.
He'll send it to you.
It is. That's her, right? Send it to her.
Brother's booking. He's a director. I worked with him on. We did ommni-boat, an independent film, a long time ago. Him as a brother. They did Bruce Campbell. Even did. I met him in New Zealand filming Power Rangers.
Yeah.
This is Michael too, by the way.
How's it going, man? Nice. Good meeting you. Awesome, dude. Hey, we just came by to say hi and tell you that ommni-boat's happening. You know, and wishing you luck, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Awesome that you do this.
You guys are around. You guys are probably taking.
No.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Did anything you need? Let me know.
Thank you so much.
Right? See you, man.
And there you
Amazing.
have it. I think you can see everything in that 5-minute clip. You can see how, like, he wanted to include everyone in the conversation. He was trying to make, everyone feel so welcome and at home, and
Yeah.
he gave off big brother friend vibes, and
Yeah, I
such
think
a short amount of time.
Yeah, no, he was great. I think the one thing that my brother and I noticed from the get-go is how amazing this guy was to his fans. He loved his fans. He was so good to them. Like, I think in a lot of conventions, like, they charge money for, even if you take the picture with your own camera, and then it costs a little more if you want to buy an actual picture from the thing. He wouldn't charge for like the camera, like your own camera pictures. He would never charge for that. Like you could take a picture for free with him. A lot of the people in those conventions don't do that, but he was very, very giving to his fans. He's he was a special guy in that case, where I don't see that many people that have as many admirers as he did, like give so much back to his fans, be so part of their lives, and like actually, like you said, involve them in conversations, involve them. No one feels left out when you're around him, and yeah, that, for sure.
Um, I picked up the same thing on social media, scrolling around, and just countless stories of people saying that they had just mentioned to him how X, Y, and Z relative or friend was also a Jason David Frank fan, and he
Hmm.
would just throw in an extra autograph and be like,
Yeah.
make sure to give it to that person. You know,
Yes.
he
Yeah, he
just
did. Yeah.
he just
Well, like the,
wanted.
the first time we met, I met him. He did the same thing where I would tell him all my girlfriend is a huge, huge, huge Power Ranger fan. She has pictures of her in the costumes. She had all the toys. She was a huge, huge fan. I told him that, and the first thing he did was like, "Give me your phone." He did a video just for her, you know, "Hey, Lydia," and yeah, it was just beautiful. And I got to send it to her. And then even second meeting I had with him when we were discussing stuff, he had a bunch of pictures, and he's like, "Hey, do you want me to sign some stuff for your friends?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So he gave us just a plethora of just pictures with his signature on it, and we were just giving them out to the people that loved Power Rangers growing up, as we did.
Yeah, he really wanted to make sure that he connected with everyone who would appreciate it, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that's a beautiful thing. And going through his Instagram history and stuff, he was so positive,
Hmm.
and he tried to be so, you know, he tried to be inspiring, and he took
Yeah.
his position as like people's childhood hero very seriously.
Mm.
um and he never wavered.
Yeah.
Jason David Frank, he, like, his body, always amazing.
Yeah.
His stunt fighting throughout all of the over 200 episodes of Power Rangers he was on was always on point and impressive.
Yeah.
He never missed a beat. He was a real legend. I remember when I was a little kid, the Power Rangers is like the first franchise or, like, nerdy thing I can think of where, like, it went, for at least my childhood, to go from like a TV to a movie, and I had to like beg people to take me to this movie. Like like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like an easy sell, you know what I mean, when I was little.
Yeah.
But at the Power Rangers age, like, some adults were like, "Oh, I don't want to sit through, an hour and a half of Power Rangers." So my older brothers, Gabby and his friend Arturo, ended up taking me to see Power Rangers at Miller Square, when that was a thing. And I remember that's the first time, I'm pretty sure I smelled weed. So I'm pretty sure that they just got super high and then took me to
Yeah.
see Power Rangers as
Gotta get that green for the Green Ranger, bro.
the
Yeah,
the
for
only
sure.
way to see it. And
Yeah.
then, ironically enough, there was also like a live action Power Rangers like stage show at Miller Square in the 90s that I remember watching. And my mom remembers taking me to. So
Oh,
that's fucked up for me.
wow.
And then really, the Green Ranger is one of the first iconic characters I can think of where I got to see like a villain turn into a good guy
Yeah.
and have a full love story, and
Yeah.
then break up with that love interest, and then, like, keep on going. Like,
Yeah, I have a theory that not really a theory, but I always considered the Green Ranger character the first Zuko. Do you know what a Zuko is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
from Airbud? Like that idea of the bad guy is like turmoil, all that, and actually turns good, and you end up like loving him more than every other character because you saw that arc.
Yeah.
I put that sort of to the Green Ranger. So whenever when someone says, "Oh, that's the Zuko character," because it's become sort of a trope in a lot of young people fantasy, I'm just like, no, it's not a Zuko. That's a Green Ranger. That's what you're talking. That's what you're referencing. Because that to me was that special moment where you're just like, what the you could be a bad guy and a good guy in the same show. Like it's always like, Batman's the good guy, Joker's the bad guy. That's how I my media consumption, my diet was, I didn't know about like arcs or anything until like the Green Ranger came in, and it was just so beautiful. It's like, yeah, that makes him cool. That makes him so much special because he could be a badass if he wants to. He could snap some necks if he wants to, but he doesn't.
He could, and also he could handle the whole team by himself if he needs to.
Yes,
like
so true.
The power dynamic, and they always kind of kept that power dynamic a little bit on Power Rangers, where the White Ranger was like just a little bit more overpowered than the other Rangers, so that he could, come in and save them when their asses were getting kicked.
Yeah. Did you? I've heard lots of stories of what went on. I don't know. I'll just say them. Okay. So like a lot of the apparently the reason why the cast was changed is because they wanted more money, deservedly so probably. Power Rangers was a huge hit in America, the American side of the original Japanese series, and like it was known. I mean, it should have been a factor. It's like, yeah, the cast probably wants to get paid a little more. They probably have a contribution to why it was a hit, and apparently the producers were not having it, so they recasted everyone for the most part, except for the people that were down to take the pay cut or take the same pay, which was the Green Ranger. Now, I think that was kind of a genius move from him, because he entrenched himself in that character, where it's like, no one else is going to play the Green. You think of the Green Ranger, you think of Tommy. If you think of the Red Ranger, of course, you and I would probably think of the same guy, but there's other fans out there that are like, no, the Red Ranger is this guy or this guy or this girl.
Or the Red Ranger is Tommy,
the Red Ranger is Tommy. True.
He is literally, I think he's played 3 different Red Rangers. So he's like,
I never got that far.
2 different Red Rangers. So he's just as iconic a Red Ranger. There's a Power Rangers episode called Forever Red. That's just all Red Rangers teaming up. And nice. he's the leader of the Red Ranger team up. He's got to be.
No, but I love the way because that's sort of what's happening now, even with like Marvel. There's that whole thing. I think Tarantino even talked about this. It's like, we don't have movie stars anymore. We have movie characters that are the stars. In many ways, Tommy was the first to actually do that. It's like, because I always think, man, what it must be like as a kid where you can't tell the difference between Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. Because you can't. You technically can't. If you see a Robert Downey Jr. interview, you're seeing Tony Stark, right? And like vice versa. So I think Green Ranger gave us a little bit of that, where it's like he's always going to be the Green Ranger. In comics, they're drawing Jason David Frank as the Green Ranger. That's the guy. I always thought that was a genius move, where it's like, okay, I'll take the pay hit, but it's like, when people think of the Green Ranger, I want them to think about me. I'm the Green Ranger. And that was so smart of him. And I want more actors to do that. Like, I was campaigning for Margot Robbie. Like, I want her to be Harley Quinn. Like, she should be doing all the voices. She should be doing all these commercials, everything. So anytime people think of Harley Quinn, they think of Margot Robbie. She doesn't want that. That's fine. But, I really, really admired that about him, and how he completely took hold and ownership of this character, at least for the American audiences and probably other audiences around the world.
He's and he went on like even further in more so than I think any actor has done, because he was in the fan films. Okay.
True.
I'm gonna pull it up here because it's part of my playlist.
Yeah, that is going beyond. That's going beyond the who owns the rights. It's like
So Bat in the Sun, who was a frequent collaborator with JDF, and is releasing JDF's last film, Legend of the White Dragon. They produced this Ryu versus Green Ranger fan film. And here we have Ryu kicking ass, taking names.
I have a random question. Is that the guy that really played Vega in the original Street Fighter? Because it kind of looks like him. But
I have no idea. It could be.
Yeah.
I challenge you.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think that's the old Vega, yeah. Based.
See? Vega's too old for this. but not Dr. Tommy Oliver. Okay.
Oh! Is he gonna morph? Morph it! Morph it! Yep!
It is morphin' time, baby. What's up?
Hell yes. Holy crap.
So we have Ryu versus the Green Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
We
I've seen
also
this one. Yeah.
we also have the epic White Ranger versus Scorpion.
Yeah. I saw this one. This was good.
Which after White Ranger beats Scorpion,
Game over.
get the intense
Ooh.
close up.
That is one of my.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then
beat
he
Scorpion, huh?
he got to play Bloodshot for Valiant.
Yeah, I saw that one
Um,
too. Yeah, that looked dope.
And then I think the coolest thing of all is that he brought in this comic and video game character,
Mm-hmm.
Lord Draken, who's an
Yes.
alternate universe version of Tommy Oliver, and he gave him a live action moment, something that is just totally like, video games and comics, they get the back seat when it comes to using the real actors, and JDF made sure he was there.
Like I said, he entrenched himself in this character. Like, and he wouldn't let it go away. He wouldn't let someone else be the Green Ranger. He wants everyone to know Green Ranger, JDF. It's a brilliant move. Brilliant, like long game strategy, in my opinion.
Squandered for so long.
My lord, the generals are ready. They simply await your command.
What's important to me now is my friendship with all of you. I don't ever want that to change.
It won't, Tommy. You'll always be one of us.
And it's time to set things right.
We will invade their worlds. We will tear down everything that might protect them. And then, when it's too late, when they're powerless and alone, they will realize the truth. They could have been gods.
Damn.
The epicness, and then he was in Omni-boat, a fast boat Fantasia.
Yep.
And one of the only things that comes up if you type up Omni-boat on YouTube,
Really?
one of the few things that comes up is JDF.
JDF.
And
We never got that release date. Damn it.
he recorded your behind the scenes, dude.
Yeah. No, he was awesome. He was like, that's another thing that was really great about him is like, he's been the star of TV shows. He's probably used to trailers. He's probably used to the amazing craft services that productions like that provide. And for us, he was, he would just chill. We were very low budget, so we only had like coolers with water and occasionally some food. We had to make, like, we didn't have trailers or anything, so you have to hang out in the sun. And he was totally game the whole time. He was totally chill, very patient. A lot of the times in film sets, like, the biggest killer of like morale is just the waiting you have to do for your time just to do a 3-minute like monologue or something. You have to wait hours and hours, and he would wait, and he was chill, and he would talk to production. He was super chill, and he was JDF, so I was always like, me or my brother or other people or assistants would go and be like, hey, you cool. He's like, hey, I'm perfectly fine, leave me alone, go work on your stuff. And he was always down, and he had a great spirit. He was definitely the heart of this production with his good spirits, for sure.
Why did you guys think of JDF for this role? What
Well,
What triggered it, you know?
we met him at Bruce Campbell's house.
Okay.
So it's like he was very down, he was very cool, very awesome. And just because he was that awesome, we were like, yeah, we'd love to work with you. We were given this opportunity. So we said, yeah, why not JDF? We also like, Tarantino sort of made that whole thing big of like actors you grew up on and
Hmm.
like bringing them back and bringing them to do something totally different. So that's how we sold it. It's like I always thought, he he was he was a good actor, but he got better and better throughout the years. He got better and better and better. And I felt that he got to the point where it's like, I don't think you need to see this guy kick or punch anymore. I think he's a good enough actor that he could just, you could just gravitate towards him. He has like a look, he has an aura to him that would be kind of interesting. And we love doing that type of stuff with horror. Like our main goal in life is to do a Jason Statham horror movie, right? Where you get a badass, you get an awesome badass, and you make him scared. That to me is so exciting to me. Where he's terrified. It's like you imagine a Jason Statham or The Rock or something like that in a horror film where they're actually scared. Like that I don't know, that gives me goosebumps. And we sort of wanted to do that with this. It's like, oh, we want to see the Green Ranger like kind of scared and maybe more intense, So that was sort of the
That's that
genesis of this.
that's fucking genius. And part of the beauty of the short film is that as soon as you know that he's the character who is sort of mentoring this diver, you automatically, because he brings the gravitas of the Green Ranger to it,
Yes.
you think of him as like, okay, he's like a capable, he's an out, this character must be an outdoorsman, this guy must like have complete, control of everything that's
Yeah.
going on, and he does it, so quickly. And I hope that you guys release Breath, or at least make it available for people to view somehow. I don't know what the situation is with Omni-boat, a fast boat Fantasia. um
Yeah. Yeah, I don't quite know. Last I heard there was like a bidding war. I don't know. It got entangled since it premiered in Sundance. It got entangled in crap and people bidding, is this person that, this person that. We're also working with a lot of big time directors now. And we the Daniels who just did I haven't seen it yet, but apparently I'm gonna love it no matter what, so I don't mind saying the masterpiece that is
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
everywhere all at once. Yeah, they're probably going to get nominated for that. We had Phil Lord do another short in this film. And this all had to be done. Hopefully, I don't get anyone in trouble. Hopefully, they won't listen to this. But this was all done behind the backs of DGA, the Directors Guild. They had to work around the DGA to get this done. So I don't know if maybe that's the reason why the rights. Apparently, it went swimmingly. Like they got around to doing it. I don't know if they just did it or they negotiated or something, but it might be something with that.
Okay, well, just it should be out there, and I think definitely JDF would want it to be out there, because he seemed really proud of this time that he spent with you guys.
Yeah,
um
yeah, I think so. I think I'm happy. I was very happy with his work. I was very happy that I was able to share and do something like this with him.
yeah.
And
Th-
given the tragedy now, even more so, that I was like, I'm thankful that I got to work with him creatively, because he was I always knew he was a great guy since we met him at Bruce Campbell's. He was awesome. We talked since then, but I was glad I was able to work with him creatively.
this
I'm very thankful.
this is my favorite part of this Mighty Morphin vlog he did for Omniboat. Is he talks to the sound guy, he talks to everybody, he's
Yeah,
there's no there's no there's no facade of like, I'm like ass kissing. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's pure, it's beautiful. I was listening to one of the original podcasts we recorded together, and I was saying like, I would love to see a behind the scenes documentary where people just interview like the craft services people, and like, everyone who is not making decisions on a set, you know what I mean, as a behind the
yeah.
scenes. And JDF got a little bit of that in there, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, yeah, he talks to people. Who he reminds me of too, who's very good with his crew, is Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi talks to every single person on set, crafts, sound, the person hanging on lights. He makes sure to go to every single one thank them, introduces himself. That's good peeps. Good peeps.
Okay, I'd just like to plug, because this is gonna be the final thing in my tribute. I'm gonna put something else after this that's gonna lighten it up. But he had, in the audio that we heard from when we met him, he talked about his In My Head short, and I'm not gonna play the audio right. I will play a little bit, but knowing what we know now about his passing, this film, he was really trying to express something really deep here.
So let's continue. Let's start with you. Been at my side this whole time, stuck on my hip like glue. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get to know you. Excuse me, have we met? Are you brand new? No. I remember. We both had a complete breakthrough. Missing with you is complete voodoo, bad juju. I feel so angry. I feel your leftover residue. All right. Let's all stand up one at a time. Speak your name for a final run through.
So it's 8 minutes, and I want people to see this with, giving it their 100% attention. And it is kind of heavy, because it is about suicide, and I think that this is an important video that he produced, and
I think he wrote and directed it too, right?
and yeah, and that's why I think it's important that when we remember Jason David Frank, we remember his In My Head video, and all of the positive things that he professed all the time. That
Yeah.
I think part of it, he was saying it for himself. To lighten things up a little bit, I found this really weird IMDb credit that he had that we have to check out, that is for one of those live action sort of PC games from the 90s, where Jason David Frank got to play the Pied Piper.
All these rats. Just try and get me, teacher. Yes,
Hey, we are all out of reinforcements.
we did it. I guess that blacksmith isn't such a wimp after all.
Run away! Run away!
Where's my JDF? Where's my JDF?
No.
We made it.
Okay, wrong part. There we go.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, baby. The rat animation is part of the best part too.
They're everywhere. Rats? Children, please. What's that? Sounded like it was coming from right outside.
Would you look at this? The local schoolhouse.
Mister, I don't know who you are or where you came from, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Piper Winsong's my name, and the pleasure's all mine.
That's all well and good, Mr. Winsong, but I'm
No buts, my good woman, for I've come to be of service. I am here to rid your fair city of ugly vermin.
Are you sure you can get rid of them rats?
Sure can, Sonny. You see, sometimes all you need to do is try a little magic.
Now, sir, we all know there's no such thing as magic.
But there is. All you need to do is believe.
And this is what trips me out: is did they hire him for this because the Green Ranger plays the dragon flute, plays like the dagger flute?
Oh yeah.
Like, were they
That's
like, oh,
great.
He has experience with piping.
The man can pipe.
Yeah. So he's got some good cringe on the internet.
He looks like Daniel the Wizard. Have you ever seen Daniel the Wizard? In this?
Is that from the
The
Conan
German movie?
O'Brien? Oh no. I thought you meant that Conan O'Brien wizard from like that Attack of the Clones segment with Triumph. Okay. And now the last but not least. his appearance on Family Matters.
No way! I didn't know that he was in Family Matters.
He was in Family Matters and got to fight
You got to
Urkela's
fight.
Bruce Lee trio.
You're the one who's gonna end up in a trauma unit.
That's the best bump right there, yes.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Bruce Lee. I'm Bruce Lee 2. I'm Bruce Lee 3. Together we are the Bruce Lee Trio.
Get him!
I don't know if this Power Rangers-esque music is in the episode or if the YouTube uploader just added it.
Yeah, they didn't take away the punching.
Oh, here we go.
That's him.
Yeah. Oh, Noogie. Oh, and through the door. Boom.
Oh, look at that stunt work.
And who else in pop culture has fought Ryu, Scorpion, and Urkel Bruce Lee? Come on.
Urkel Lee. That's true.
Urkel Bruce Lee.
Marvel will never be able to do that.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. You're listening to Boondacast.
I forgot to have Lydia Undress's girlfriend introduce herself, and she's going to tell us about her Power Rangers fandom.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so we're doing our final thoughts, final remembrances on JDF. I don't know if you heard the part where I was talking about like, you know, the Green Ranger is one of like the most important characters of my childhood, because he's the first time I ever saw like a villain turn into a hero and have a love story, and, you know, then break up with Kimberly, or Kimberly broke up with him with a letter, and then, you know, he got to go on and keep on leading the team. Like, it was, I'd never seen that in any pop cultural thing that I enjoyed ever.
Yeah, I was telling Andres, like, I felt the same way, like, especially like in the beginning when they first introduced him and that arc of him being evil, how like exciting it was. And Kimberly and Tommy were like the first relationship I ever like shipped.
For sure.
Yeah.
OTP, the one true pair. Come on, there could be no other.
For real. So yeah, I mean, I find it really, really sad because he really is like the greatest Power Ranger, since he's like the one that stuck it out. And I was just very appreciative, since, I mean, I'm the one that got the video. I was so excited when I got it. I don't know. I'm very bad at this, so I apologize.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. I remember as a kid that when Power Rangers came out, that everyone wanted to play Power Rangers on the playground, and like being the Green Ranger meant that you were like the coolest kid in school.
Yes,
and
I was Pink Ranger, but
oh,
yes.
oh my God. Yeah, being the Pink Ranger and the Green Ranger meant that you were like the coolest kids at school. And I was always Goldar, or one of the monster of the week, because that was the only other way I could get, like, you know, proper screen time, okay, during the episode.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing that I was telling Andres, was like, I was constantly like role playing Power Rangers. I remember at one time I was like going to this like babysitter, and I told my mom I was never gonna go again because she wasn't letting me watch Power Rangers, and my mom had to like talk to her and be like, hey, can you please just put on Power Rangers so she stops saying that she's not gonna go. But I remember even like, did you ever watch the Christmas special?
Yeah, the White Ranger Christmas. I actually wanna do a commentary track on it.
Yeah, I was telling her, this was like I owned like the Christmas special on like tape. I used to watch it over and over again. I was part of the Power Rangers fan club, and they sent me
Oh,
this like
snap.
super cool video with like behind the scenes.
Oh,
But
so you had the Power Rangers fan club official videotape?
it might be at my dad's house
Oh my
actually,
god.
because I did have it. It was like my prized possession. I saw it like a million times. Um, but yeah, like I didn't expect this to hit me as hard as it did, but at the same time, like I obviously didn't expect it at all, especially, for it to like happen so soon and like this. And it's very depressing because, I think like I saw on Facebook, he wrote like he was like the greatest of all time. And like he really was in terms of the Power Rangers. And I was just always like really admired how nice he was to his fans and just how much he embraced being a Power Ranger, because a lot of times people that did like, kids shows, they try to move away from that identity, and he just embraced it. Um
Yeah, he never got he never like he never expressed like that thing that every other celebrity expresses where they're like, what I did was corny and who cares? Like I never saw him express that, even like ironically, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And it was awesome. And like being able to like, I remember we saw him at the convention and it just felt so surreal. Like I remember I just kept thinking like, oh my God, like this is the Green Ranger, because I know he's Jason David Frank, but in my mind, I'm still like that little kid. And I was just like, oh my God, we're like hanging out with the Green Ranger. This is amazing. Um, so yeah, it's quite a loss, I think. Um, Power Rangers was just something that meant a lot to me growing up. I had a Power Rangers birthday. Um, it was just
Yeah, bed sheets.
yes,
You
yeah,
know, I had the
yes,
bed sheets. Yeah,
yes, me too.
yeah,
I
and
had like
the
shirts, the costumes. I was really upset that it wasn't like a legit helmet. Like it was
it was just the
like the
plastic on the side and the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like I got it. I was like,
I can't.
yes. I turned it around. I'm like, no.
You expect me to not turn my head for photos? Like, how am I supposed to do the poses? This doesn't make
Ex-
sense.
exactly. I was dying for like the little
Uh,
communicator watch. The Power Rangers, like the little communicator sound is still my text message like
Oh
noise.
snap!
But he was definitely, I mean, I obviously was a huge Pink Ranger fan back in the day, but I can admit that he was, the greatest Power Ranger. Um, I don't think he's replaceable.
Did the Green Ranger like shape your desires in like fictional romantic heroes? You know what I mean? Is he like
Yeah, I mean,
he's
when I
the
was
building
little,
block, right?
of course, of course. I was telling you, just I even remember the episode where he and Kimberly got together. Like I could still see it in my head. So I remember she kind of messed with him at one point and like turned around and he's all like Kimberly, and then she turns around and she's like, accepts the whole like going out thing. And I was so happy and excited as a kid because I really wanted them to like hook up. So yeah, like I said, first relationship I shipped. I really wanted Tommy and Kimberly to get together, so I was super hyped when they did. I was devastated when Kimberly left, but
I like to think since both Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank are in the Power Rangers 2017 movie together, I like to think that in that reality, Tommy Oliver and Kimberly, they got married, they had kids, and that was the reality they did it in.
yes, yes, I believe
You
it.
know.
I believe it. I believe it. Um, but yeah, thank you. I know you know, haven't
No.
really put my thoughts together, but thank you for allowing me to express it. One of the things that I'm very shy, and one of the things that I really regretted is that I didn't, and I know it doesn't make a difference, but I regretted not telling him that I was a very big fan. And I've been like super bummed out about that. And I know it's, you know, like I'm a nobody, you know what I mean? But it's just like
Mhm.
I didn't realize how important that is, to tell people like what a impact they had on your life. And Power Rangers, when I was little, Power Rangers was my life. Like I loved
Yeah.
Power Rangers. But thank you
He's
for allowing me, you know.
he's gone too soon. We should have had more time, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have had a lot more time. And I don't know if it's the back-to-back punch of Kevin Conroy dying, who played Batman, and then the Green Ranger, but like I've never felt more like an adult
Yeah.
than at this moment of my life. It's very hard.
It is. It is. Like when I first found out, it was very shocking, you know. And I was just I was telling, you know, and just like it's really weird, but it's really affecting me, you know. I feel really, really bummed out about this. Um, I still do, you know. And I feel it's so weird. I mean, I don't know him, but it's tragic.
No, he had 4 kids. He had, you know, just like everyone else has. He had a full life. He had a bunch of people that, you know, cared about him, and you know, it's just gone way too soon. I've I've struggled with suicidal thoughts. You know, I've been instituted for 7 days. You know, I'm on medication. You know, these are normal struggles that everyone goes through, and that you know, you guys just need to like reach out when you need help. And I wish um that we could have made JDF feel the way that, you know, he made us feel. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's incredible is like if you just like look how devastated the entire fanhood is, that despite this guy being like a literal hero to so many people, it's it really just humanizes him, you know.
Mhm.
And I see here Legend of the White Dragon, which is like basically seems to be like was his dream movie. His daughter was in it.
Yeah, he had all
So
these great action heroes and Legend of the White Dragon, and they kickstarted it. They built it off of, you know, all of the goodwill that JDF made with all of his fans
yeah.
throughout these years on social media. and unless ommni-boat takes, you know, 100 years to be released, it Legend of the White Dragon will probably be his last credit.
Yeah. Yeah. Um
um Thank you so much, Lydia. um
yeah, no, thank you. I know like I'm not super coherent right now,
no,
but
you're perfect. You're doing great. You're doing great.
I I appreciate it. I really do. It's he did really make an impact on my life. And also one thing that I appreciated, which is gonna be dumb, but like since you know, since I'm very shy, I the first time I met him, like he actually was the person to offer to take a picture with me, and I really appreciated that he didn't make me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like have to ask, which I wasn't going to because it just felt very, very shy. And I appreciated that, you know, I appreciated the effort
The
or
gesture, yeah,
the gesture. Yes.
he didn't want you to risk feeling tacky, you know what I mean, in that way. and
Yeah,
and and you know, some people may say that was like gauche of him or something, or you know, but I think that was like a beautiful expression of the way that he shared his love with everyone.
exactly. Like I really appreciated it because I was trying to be cool, you know, the entire time, just be cool, don't
and
say anything dumb, but I
and
was, yeah,
and he knows you appreciated it. He knows, even if you didn't say it out loud. He knows.
yeah,
He knew.
I hope because I mean, like I said, like I know I'm not anyone important in his life, but it it was awesome. Like I said, I felt very surreal. I felt like a little kid. Like in my head, I just kept being like, "Oh my god, it's the Green Ranger! Oh my god, this is the Green Ranger! This is so awesome!" And he's like, he's nice, and you know, um, I really appreciated it, especially from like as being like a very shy person. I appreciated that he did that for me because I really wanted that picture, man. So I really, really appreciated it. And I appreciated the video. I remember when Andres first told me that he was hanging out with the Green Ranger, and I was like seriously freaking out. Like, I was like, oh my god, Undress is hanging out with the Green Ranger. Like that's so crazy. That's so cool. Um,
And it's just
but
so it's very mind blowing too, you know?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's a mind blowing person to be hanging out with.
yes, I
Like, you
agree.
know,
Like,
Andres is playing it very cool, but that is like
it,
that is mind blowing. Like I only hung out with him for 5 minutes and I could barely fucking, you know, keep it together. And that's
yeah,
crazy.
I like I was actually in Orlando for like my friend's bachelorette party, and I like walked outside to talk with Undress. I was like pacing back and forth, and I like came back in. I was like, oh my god, like my boyfriend is hanging out with the Green Ranger. Like you guys, this is amazing. And no one gave a crap except me because they were like, okay. I'm like, you don't understand. Like I love Power Rangers. Like that was when I was little. Like that was my shit. You know. Um, but I really appreciated that gesture. I'm gonna back up that video, make sure I never lose it, pack up my pictures. Um, I
That's
wish
important.
that I had had the courage to, you know, tell him how much I appreciated it and what a big fan I was. But I'm really happy that I at least got to sort of express it here. So
And I
thank you.
expressed it several times. I showed him pictures of you, and like I told him you were a huge fan. That's why he took the phone from me and did the video, because I was saying what a huge fan you were.
Yeah, well, one day hopefully we'll get to meet Amy Jo Johnston. All right,
Um,
and you can
yes.
you can correct that mistake by telling Amy Jo Johnston how awesome she
That's
is.
hilarious because that's
Okay.
actually what I've been even thinking. Like I was like, okay, if I ever meet Amy Jo Johnson, I can't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
maybe.
Did you ever watch her movie Susie Q?
Yes, I loved Susie Q. Oh my
I
god.
I've been dying to rewatch that movie because that was like the first movie where I got like the biggest crush in the world. Like the way that she's dressed in that movie
The
sent my
little pink dress or something, right?
yes, my little boy mind, and then she's in like it's like a 50s like sort of like outfit, and it was like, oh my god, this is insane.
Yes, and then and like the big like twist at the end, she shows up, she's like in this like black outfit now.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my god. Yeah, it's
I
very Grease ending.
loved that movie so much because I was also like super into ghosts. That was my other thing. So it was like Pink Ranger in a movie and she's a ghost. I loved that movie.
Oh snap.
Um,
Oh, we
yeah, now
gotta
I want to rewatch it too.
we gotta do a Suzy Q commentary track and have you on the show. That's what we gotta do.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go. I want to do a White Ranger Christmas, and I want to do a Suzy Q commentary track.
Fuck yeah. Sorry. Hell
No.
yeah. If I do ever find that fan club video, I will let you know.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure there's probably a version on YouTube, but I saw that in the IMDb credits, and I was like, "What exclusive fan club videotape? This is crazy."
Yep. I harassed my parents for that crap. It was
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
At least like little kid me thought it was awesome. But
yeah. I wasn't cool enough to be in the Power Rangers fan club. I was only in the Burger King Kids Club fan club. Okay.
dude, me
Let's
too. I used to like
go.
sign up under aliases so that I could keep getting the packet. So it was like my name, Lydia Fernandez, and then my alias was Olivia Hernandez. Just so that I could get a second like little packet
Oh
with
my
whatever they
god.
got you.
Oh my god, that is
Yep.
adorable. Oh my god.
um yeah, I too was a kids club. What is it? Burger King Kids Club?
BK Kids Club, baby. What's up?
BK Clubs.
Kidvid and Wheels and I can't remember the other names. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a photographer and like the
Yeah.
blonde girl.
Yeah. I just always remember Wheels because he was the kid in the wheelchair. You know?
Yeah, me too. And then Kid Vid because he was like the cool looking one.
Yeah, he was the Zach Morris
Yeah, yeah, like
of the
Cyber
BK
Zach
Kid Club.
Morris.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
And it's messed up because Zach Morris got to get married to Kelly Kapowski.
Oh my
But,
God, that's
but
true.
but the Green Ranger, he never got it. That would have been a great episode. The Power Rangers wedding. We missed out.
I would have watched the shit out of that.
I know. Fuck.
Definitely would have.
Fuck.
Now I want to rewatch the movie. The you remember? Uh-oh, we're in trouble. That banger.
Da-na-na-na-na, on the double. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good ass movie.
The costumes look legit in the Power Rangers movies.
Yeah.
The best costumes.
It always puzzled me, like, because there were certain things from the Power Rangers movie that they brought when they went back to the TV show, like Goldar. They just like brought the same costume over, and it always bothered me. I'm like, why didn't they just wear the same costumes from the movie? But apparently they were like super, like, because it was plastic armor, like it was like super clunky and just a pain to do stunts in and to keep looking good,
Yeah.
supposedly. But yeah, that always drove me crazy.
That's hilarious that you were Goldar though.
Yeah, that was my go-to. I got a great Goldar voice. It's so easy. Everyone loves it.
That's awesome.
You just gotta talk like you're about to poop your pants. It's the best.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think like no one, we had to like just imagine the villains in my playground. Like it'd be like, hey, behind you, potty patrol.
No,
Yeah,
me and this other girl, Christine Maria Bayonne. She was always Rita Repulsa. And I would be Goldar or whatever the villain of the week that we were gonna go with for the play session.
Damn, we needed you guys. We needed you guys because it was us just like pretending someone was there. We really would have upped our game.
No, and I remember who played the Green Ranger from when I was a kid too. That's how crazy like those like middle school memories are. That like this like totally useless fan fiction information that is only relevant to one school.
Oh yeah,
for one particular piece of time. But Jose Luis Vieira was our Green Ranger in Conchita Espinosa Academy. Okay, that's how we rolled.
And did he do a good job? Was he?
He was the best. He was the Green Ranger because he could do the best kicks and he could do a split. He could do the whole moveset.
Yeah, and I mean, most kids in my school, including myself, were in Taekwondo, so we did those kicks, white belt form, man, every day, every day.
Hell yeah.
But I'm glad that the Power Rangers role play was something that was universal, not just like me and my aftercare homies.
It was a phenomenon. It's weird too because I remember like that whole era of Fox Kids programming was like just so epic. They had the X-Men, they had the Power Rangers.
Yeah, the X-Men music was like legit.
And they were like both on at the same like Saturday morning and in the afternoons. It was just mind blowing.
Yeah. And I remember also just seeing like because the VHS tapes also like in I lived in New Jersey for a while and we didn't have Blockbuster, at least not near my house. We had Super Video Store and they had like the whole wall with all like the Power Rangers videos, and it's the best wall. You saw like the Green Ranger saga, and it was like how many episodes was that? Like 3 or 5?
I think six. I think
6 episodes. Yes, and they have like every single video there, and I really wanted to get them. I wanted to own them, but parents let me down there. But I got to join the fan club, so I guess I can't complain too much. But really, it's making me feel very nostalgic.
If I could go back in time, I would take like pictures of that. You know what I mean? Like the walls of Blockbuster when I was 8. You know what I mean? Like that would be worth like money to me right now if someone could factually reproduce that for me.
Yes, there was this like it's down now, but there was this like person. Well, it might play. Have you ever seen? There's someone used to stream like Nickelodeon, but like 90s Nickelodeon with commercials and everything.
Yeah. There's a bunch of I do it all the time. There's still YouTube uploads where people are just like, oh, Saturday morning 1993 this week, and it's their VHS upload of that exact day.
Yes, it's I love watching those. It's just like super exciting. Watch shit ton of TV when I was little.
well, that's because back in the day, like the in between the commercials, like all the little animations they did, like, that is all a part of like the viewing experience that is enhanced. And it's interesting that we're talking about this because there's this great video out right now by this YouTuber called Defunct Lands, where he's trying to identify the person who wrote like the 4 notes that are the Disney Channel 4 notes that were in all the Disney commercials and bumpers that they used to play on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And he's going through like this existential crisis of like the person who wrote these 4 notes didn't, seek credit for these 4 notes, but they were a part of so many people's childhood and they were so beloved, and it's so important to so many people that these people like spent time creating this stuff that they didn't think was of any value.
Yeah.
And apparently the guy who wrote the Disney Channel theme died in 2020.
Really?
So he didn't get a chance to actually interview him. So he had to like interview family and friends and stuff, and ultimately he released the guy's name, and his name is Alex Lazarenko, and he's like this like musical prodigy who just like did this in a day, and it made this huge lasting impression. But it's interesting to think about all those people in creative spaces who do like these things that seem minor, but they make a big impact once it's all together.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look that up, because like it really like music, and like just sound is a lot of like what, at least for me, really takes me back and brings like nostalgia, like not like the music from like a commercial or something like Crossfire.
Yeah. You get caught up in the crossfire.
Crossfire.
I'm not gonna try to hit that note. No.
So yeah, that's amazing. And I definitely was also a Disney Channel kid, so I'm definitely gonna
That's right in your
watch
wheelhouse.
that video. Yeah, for real. And I'm a very big like nostalgia person. Like you could ask Andres. I love reminiscing. I love looking at old things from my childhood. So definitely perfect for me.
Nostalgia's a hell of a drug. What's up?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna
Want me to bring
close
back
this.
Andres?
I'm gonna close this out with the Legend of the White Dragon clip. Let's sure. Let's bring back Andres. Thank you so much, Lydia.
No, thank you.
It's been amazing. I'm so happy.
Me too.
That we got the Pink Ranger stand perspective on the Green Ranger.
Hell yeah, thank you. And let me.
And Danny told me similar things about my wife Danny, that the Pink Ranger and Green Ranger love connection. That's like that's in the DNA.
Absolutely. Like I said, first relationship, I shipped. I was all about it. I was so happy when they got together. But yes, thank you. And let me Andres.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Since she talked about the first couple she shipped, can I say the first couple I shipped?
Is it from the Evil Dead? What is it?
No, it's from Power Rangers. Red Ranger, Black Ranger.
Oh,
I shipped them hard.
You're the first.
I was woke before anyone even knew what woke was.
Well, that sounds like the original like Finpo. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. How's it going? Hey, thank you for giving her an opportunity to share her love for the Green Ranger. She's been wanting to do it.
Now is the best time in the world to, talk about all the warm feelings that Jason David Frank gave us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna close this out with the Legend of the White Dragon trailer, and then the audience is gonna get treated to an opening of the Wundercast vault to a lost audio that I thought I would never release, because after I recorded this, I was like I was treated for like bipolar personality disorder, and and like my voice sounds horrible in it because I like blew out my voice, and so like I am just like a psycho on this podcast. But one of the things that I am excited about is hearing about waiting in line for JDF in agonizing detail, as George tells me. So let's go Legend of the White Dragon trailer, and
The White Dragon, also known as Eric Reed, has been discovered alive I believe it is my duty to bring this man to justice for what he's done to our city. I will not rest. This city will not rest until Eric Reed is held accountable.
Hey guys, hate to interrupt, but I'm kind of getting a weird feedback at.
Where is Eric Reed?
Well, let's see what we're working with.
It's beautiful. I'm gonna shed a tear. It's gonna be a fake tear, but I'm still gonna shed it. Oh, look at it.
Come on, baby. Don't be mean.
No white people allowed.
Except Derek?
Except
I'm half Cuban.
He's half a Cuban.
You are?
Yeah, he's half a Cuban. You're all a Cuban.
Yeah.
I'm made from Cubans.
Full Cuban.
So
2.5 Cuban.
together we are the Spanish announce table. I lost my voice because of a little TLC that we saw live and in person. Hi, I'm Steven.
Hi, this podcast still sucks. And I'm George.
And I am Derek.
TLC match, you want to open or should I open? We went to Florida SuperCon to watch some wrestling, okay? And then right as the wrestling's about to start,
No.
I go.
Back. You gotta go back.
No!
I go to Florida SuperCon.
This is where you derail me!
Oh, God. I go.
Stop derailing me!
I'm gonna derail you.
Stop derailing me! You can go back later!
Spreading lies.
TLC!
Get for my close-up. No, you don't have to get that close. Just, okay. So, George did not go, SuperCon for the wrestling. That was just the icing on the cake that is Dr. Thomas Oliver, or better known as Jason David Frank, bitches.
George,
Bullshit,
you
George,
can.
You live in a womb of fake fighting your whole life.
And who's the greatest fake fighter ever? And the White Ranger, and the Black Ranger.
George, there's plenty of time for this in the second part of our show.
I just want
right
people
now,
to know why I went to the SuperCon.
Right now,
the wrestling was just the icing on the cake.
Right now, we're telling Derek about Florida SuperCon, okay?
Yes, Derek wants to know about SuperCon.
Okay. So what happened was we were super hyped. We were finally going to meet up and watch wrestling for the first time together. Me and George have never seen a wrestling match together, although we've tried to many times in the past. This is the first time we have pulled it together. And now it happened. But I was like, hold on. Wait, George. Let's go to a writing panel first. I dragged George to a writing panel.
Wait, hold on. So convention ends like at 7. Those things down.
For selling.
Yes. So he goes off to go get food, and he's like, don't fucking go home. We gotta go watch some motherfucking wrestling. So I'm like...
Because all day you were like, I'm gonna go home. It's dark. I'm scared. What if Sergeant Slaughter sees me in the dark and rapes me?
You saw where I was parked. You saw where I was parked. I was parked in the woods.
Not in the woods. You were parked in front of an old lady's house. You were fine, George.
Not in front of an old lady's house. I wasn't parked in front of the woods that was by the old lady's house.
George, there were no woods. There was a medical center, and there was a group of houses, and there
a
were
lot of weird
trees.
people walking by.
There were trees.
No, there were a lot of weird people there. I needed to be safe, so when we went out to go to Steven's car, I moved my car inside close by the convention center, so it's just walking distance instead of having to cross the street and go all the way. Like it was far because you parked right on the medical center, but I was how far was that? Like 200, 300, 400 yards or something?
George, you were more than
I was a football stadium away.
You were more than that. You were about, let's say, 2 blocks away, okay, from your car.
I was super
You were 2 blocks away from your car. In New York, all the people in New York who are hearing your voice right now are thinking that you're the giantest bitch on earth, George.
Shut up.
Are you afraid of getting raped? JDF's there. He'll protect you. The Green Ranger will come. Call upon the power of the Dragon Sword.
He already left. He left at 7 o'clock. That's why I gotta go home. So I gotta go home. He's not there to protect me anymore.
You were gonna. How much would you pay to have all of the Rangers as your personal security, George?
I can't afford that type of money.
George,
even the Power Rangers show can't afford to bring them back. How can I afford?
George, I think that if you let them sell autographs for $40 a pop, they'll do it for you. It's okay. What was I saying? So I dragged George to this writing panel.
Motherfuck.
Of course, little Frank, who loves wrestling, is there. And of course, his life is in shambles and chaos. And little Frank has watched some of the wrestling, watched like the first 2 matches, watches a Sergeant Slaughter match that we missed because of the writing panel. And he comes
and I'm about to kill Steven.
He comes to us as we're leaving the writing panel and goes, "Wrestling's over. No more wrestling. Wrestling's done."
Sergeant Slaughter already wrestled. All the best stuff happened.
George is freaking out. George
I'm
is
about
sad.
to murder someone.
He's gonna murder me. He's gonna murder me. I'm gonna die. George will become Sergeant Slaughter. That's George's secret. He's always Sergeant Slaughter.
Part was that Steven said, "Look, this writing panel's over at 10:30. There's still gonna be another hour of wrestling." So when this kid comes in and he's like talking about it's over, I'm like, "What the fuck?"
The rest of this podcast will have some cursing for mature audiences because it's too funny not to. In the future, we will try to refrain from cursing. Thank you.
And first of all, and then he tells me that he didn't even like half the people on the comic book panel. That he hated some of these people's guts.
No. I didn't hate some of these people's guts. I hated one person's guts.
Okay.
And I hated that person's guts through Facebook comments alone. Because how am I supposed to know? And I probably hated him too because he's so similar to me that I want to stab him in the fucking throat. I probably hate him because I want to be him.
And now
this person's name is Juan Navarro, and he wrote The Zombie Years, which I still have yet to read, even though I bought the first issue. But it's only the day after, and I have a giant stack of books to read, and I'm gonna read it and review it. No, I'm not
schmoozing him online and bought all his comic books, and he dragged me to the fucking panel. I missed an hour of wrestling.
I'm being an ethical human being, and I'm being a moderator. Because George's on a tangent! God damn it.
And the only reason I forgive Steven is because there was still some great wrestling to come.
Derek, can you even follow what the fuck is going on?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. So, fucking, where am I? Okay, so Frank shows up, says fucking wrestling is done. Wrestling sucks. Wrestling's done. I'm like, wrestling wasn't that bad. I saw wrestling last night. Wrestling was pretty good. And wrestling was going on late. I think Frank is wrong. George is like, "You're wrong. You ruined it." Oh my God. So we're just eating crow. I have to stop and take a pee. So we have to pee, and everyone's just like dreading, like, "Oh no, we miss wrestling." George is going to cry. George missed wrestling again for the 18th bajillionth time.
But here's the thing. The thing is that because of the incompetence.
You're wrestling cursed, George.
Because of the incompetence of the staff at the SuperCon, I pretty much spent most of the day waiting to take a picture with Jason David Frank. And also because of Steven's fault. Because
you loved every moment of
I was just gonna take just a regular picture with him that was just like $20, and he's just like dressed regular. But Steven was like, "No, you gotta go for the full costume. It'll be awesome." And they're gonna have awesome photographers. It'll be an awesome picture
for $10 difference.
No,
you
no,
want
no.
the motherfucking
No,
Green
wait.
Ranger. Nobody wants a picture with JDF.
$20 difference.
Everyone wants. I don't give a fuck. You don't want a picture with JDF, really. You just want a picture with the Green Ranger. Am I right?
Pretty much, yeah.
The only person who wants a picture with JDF one-on-one is Jesus H. Christ. George, are you a disciple of JDF?
What does that mean?
Be the first of 12. He's our new Messiah, George. He can save us all.
Hello, you here?
She's here. Oh, we're going to get Luisana on the podcast.
So, I had a whole schedule plan. I printed out the whole schedule. I was like, I'm going to hit this,
George,
and that.
we were trying to talk about TLC. You're talking about JDF again.
But
again.
I got to tell you, this is why I stayed for wrestling. Because I spent an hour in the hot-ass sun just to get the tickets. I had to stand by the dumpster where it smelled like poo-poo. Like poo-poo.
George, you spent an hour and a half waiting in line. You have spent a lifetime bitching about it, my friend.
Yes. And then, so I get the tickets, and then, okay, I already missed the Rita and Lord Zed panel. I was looking forward to that.
Oh, you could watch Robert Axelrod slowly fade away live on stage.
Steven, don't say that. That's horrible.
George, it's not horrible if it's true. It was so depressing. I wanted to run up to Zed, give him a great hug, tell him how I used to be a villain when I was a child playing Power Rangers in school because they wouldn't let me be a ranger because I was a freak. And I was missing the top of my head, and my braids were showing.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I had the rest. Okay. I had a C on my forehead.
I just imagine like the Jack Black's partner, what's his name?
Most Def. Kyle Gass.
Kyle Gass, yeah. Remember when he was a kid, he had no hair?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was funny. Yes.
That was funny.
That was funny. In Tenacious D, the Pick of Destiny.
Yeah.
In your
So
in your home stores right
So,
now,
so
brought to you
look.
by THC.
So I had already missed Rita and Lord Zen. So the next thing I want to do was the 12 o'clock Q&A with Sergeant Slaughter. I was psyched for that. Maybe we could ask him some awesome questions about Hulk Hogan being a douche back in the day.
You
and
have to
stuff.
wait a long time to hear about this tables, ladders, and chairs matches. Even longer than the entire day that I made Derek wait about telling him about this match.
Because you got to build to it. You got to tell the people what happened. So
you're building the storyline of your own life. Way to go, George. Go.
Yes. So I wasted an hour and a half or so in line. I missed Rita, Lord Zed. I missed Sergeant Slaughter Q&A. I was totally psyched for that.
What was going to be your cue to his A? You know you're going to put it right on his A, George.
I mean, I was going to...
You were going to ask him, is your hat real? Is your hat real?
No. I don't know if I would have asked, but...
Have you ever used a rubber hat?
I was going to ask him, I think the only time they made him champion was when he, like, went against America, you know? Like, that must have been pretty crazy.
Oh, so how does it feel that the only time you were champion...
When you were heel. When
you were dirty, dirty heel.
So that you could fight against Hulk Hogan, obviously, because no one else is going to be the face. When Hulk Hogan's still face.
I was ruminating about it because of that Headlock comic I picked up about great wrestling names. And, like, Sergeant Slaughter has to be...
One of the best.
The single greatest wrestling name. I'm putting it right on the fucking top of the mountain, motherfucker. Try to knock it down. Best wrestling name in the history ever. Ever. Sandlot, I can't do the thing.
No. I love the name, but I don't know. Hulk Hogan, that's a pretty great name.
No, it's a ripoff. Because his name is the Incredible Hulk Hogan. That's bullshit. It's a ripoff.
Awesome.
Stanley wrote it. Vince McMahon stole it. Suck my balls.
It doesn't matter. It still sounds great.
It doesn't hold water. It's so good. They put it to toys. They put out a toy called Sergeant Slaughter. And they sold it to boys and girls.
Steven, right now you sound like John Laurinaitis. Oh my God! Wait.
No,
The
you know
guy
what's
from
better?
the
You know what's better
wrestling.
than Sergeant Slaughter? You know what's better? Is Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes is a great wrestling name.
The American Dream. It's very iconical, very classical. But
Sergeant Slaughter.
Dusty Rhodes.
But I'm a fan of alliteration. I love alliteration.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, they don't make wrestling names like they used to. Let's.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sting.
It doesn't matter what you were gonna say. I was gonna finish what I was gonna say. So after wasting an hour and a half on that, on waiting just to buy the tickets.
Wait. You wasted an hour and a half of your life. Congratulations, George.
Yes, just to buy the tickets, and I miss Lord Zed, Rita. I miss Sergeant Slaughter. Very sad. So, what's the first thing I did?
Did you have a cue?
So the first thing I wanted to do was pick up this phone call. Hello?
George, come on, George. Everything is shaking. George, he just keeps interrupting himself and going on tangents.
I realize now it's taking on a new meaning.
It really
So
has.
that he won't come on the show. When before it had a totally different context.
Come on, George.
It's your show. It's really just your show, George. It's not really our show.
Yeah, for real.
It's your show. I think we have to realize that, Derek.
Speaking to George while he's not here.
I think I have to realize.
I think we've reached a new low.
I have to realize I'm just a bit player in George's life now. I have to take the step back and let George bury himself.
George's supporting character.
It's lovely. Oh, and we have George's lovely wife here joining us today on George Come On George's first podcast of the Spanish Announce Table.
Your voice is so gone?
My voice is gone because I gave it up again last night. Double more. I killed for Kevin Smith. I gave away the rest of my voice, and then for all the different panels and people, I was extra nice. I like to do big applause, big woo.
Yeah, you're really nice.
I like to make people feel good.
So I was telling him we spent.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want a secret alias? Do you want to be called Batman? No? Sorry, I get caught up in the theatrics. Okay, George's... okay, George's lovely wife is here, and we're just calling her George's lovely wife until I feel comfortable saying Luisa.
Okay. So you said her name. So I was saying that we wasted an hour and a half just to get the tickets. We missed Rita, Lord Zed.
It wasn't an hour.
It was really long. No, it was really long because we got there like around 11:30 and we didn't get in till like 1.
It's exaggerations. This is going to be the
hour.
podcast ever.
Oh my God, we're never gonna finish this. Can I just tell the story the way I want to tell a story?
We're going to double overtime.
Jesus Christ, let me tell a story. So
I don't even know if we can hear this.
I missed Rita, Lord Zed. I missed Sergeant Slaughter, Q&A. Because nobody will let me finish.
Now you know how it feels.
So then, what's the first thing I want to do? I want to wait in line, meet JDF, and
that's the first thing you want to do.
Yes, and right.
The first thing you want to do and running in line is waiting in line.
Because that's the whole reason I'm there, to meet JDF.
So you invested. You invested your first 4 hours.
First 2 hours. But let me finish. So then.
I think we waited longer for him.
Yeah,
we
but
waited longer.
But let me.
for him than anything.
But let me finish. Nobody will let me finish. So yeah, then we spend almost another hour waiting on JDF, and who calls me when I'm waiting in line? Steven calls me, and he's like, "No, don't get the cheap picture. Get the awesome picture at 4:00 with the Green Ranger outfit." Oh.
Which I said I'm gonna purchase.
This is not gonna work.
And I will purchase for you once I have $40 again.
No.
Motherfucker.
No.
Oh, now we have to wait for another phone call.
No, wait.
No, just steam through, George. What the fuck? I'll go over to
Okay,
what the fuck.
let me just go back. So I said I was waiting in line, and then Steven calls me, and he says, "No, don't get the cheap $20 picture. You gotta go later, get the $40 picture. It's gonna be awesome. He's gonna be in the Green Ranger suit." So when I get to the front of the line, I'm
Because
like,
you have to pay for his dignity. You must pay for it first, George. You can't just take him in his street clothes.
so when I got to the front of the line, I was like, okay, I'll buy a ticket for the 4 o'clock. He's gonna be in the Green Ranger outfit, fine. And this is like so badly organized. Like they gave me like a little sticky note receipt, like not even like anything, you know.
Because they ran out of the regular photo cards. The photo section, they were oftentimes trying to cut corners and be less like exact and precise at like every corner. We have to always like ask for like, can I get a real receipt? Can I get blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Because you get nervous and they don't make you feel like
secure, like
secure.
you just paid money.
His girlfriend though, his wife. His wife was the one who took her money, and she wrote it on. So I mean, I trusted her, and she remembered us.
And she also wrote a similar receipt and dropped it in the thing with the money. But she was just like, oh, later at 4, because we were asking her, oh, do we have to make a line again or whatever? And she was like, no, at 4, you have to wait over there in the back. But lo and behold, yeah, it was another line. And
George decided to extra wait in it early, even though he's guaranteed a picture with JDF, and he could be the last person in line, and he still gets a picture with JDF.
No, you're not guaranteed. She told there was another lady working there at the Florida SuperCon. She's one of the volunteers, and she said, no, you need to be there early because you could be the last person in line, and pay it or whatever, but he might not take it because he has to leave.
Well,
at a certain time.
That's what Mr. JDF is like. But Adam Baldwin, we showed up. Adam Baldwin left just as we had walked up, and we said, "Oh no, we wanted to do Adam Baldwin." They said, "Did you already buy one?" We said no. They said, "Okay, buy it now. He'll be back in 30 minutes. He'll do it. It's all good." And guess what? It was all good, bitch, and it was chill.
Well, that wasn't what his wife said or any of his people that were with him.
That's because
that was what the Florida
Adam Baldwin
SuperCon
rules.
Shut up.
JDF.
Listen.
Is awesome.
Shut up. That's what the Florida SuperCon people say. But, you know, depending on who you ask, you get like 30 different answers. They have no idea what's going on.
That's true. When we were waiting in line, did he tell you what happened? Okay, we waited in line. We went to the other side. And
well, I was going to tell them right now.
Whose line is this for? And they're like, oh, this is for Loy Holden and Chandler Riggs. And I said, okay, but where's the line for Jason David Frank? And then he's like, oh, you have to wait in this line, and then we're going to pull people out and start a new line. I said, okay, so then when we were there was a couple there that they're like, oh, we got to post it too, and we went to get a card there. So that's when I said, let me get my post-it, and I'll get like a real card that says photo op. So I went to do that. And then I waited in line. And then I was telling George, I'm like, I don't know. This seems kind of weird. Go over there and see if there's another line. So, you know, there was another line. People, and then we were on the back of the line. We were like, and we were one of the first ones there. And the couple that was there, then they were right in front of us. It was like such crap.
And then, like, no, and then the thing is that line, because, you know, they had the Chandler Riggs line and the Lori Holden, so we were, like, the last line, and then we're, like, next to the registration table, and then they're, like, being super, like, dicks about it. They're like, oh, you got to leave a space for people coming in to register and stuff, but then anybody could just, like, sneak in the line, like, pretending that they're registering or something, you know?
Within our line, they open a gap for the
they open a gap for the registration. And then...
So they're creating a maze out of people's lines and
No,
planning to chop all the lines up to make everything more complicated.
No, it gets worse. Wait. It gets worse because, you know... Hold on.
Or TLC!
Because then the line...
There will be tables, ladders, and chairs!
Because then the line gets so far back that then they start, like, kind of zigzagging it. So now they have people, like, coming this way and, like, that.
Hold on one second.
Yeah,
like in a U-turn and stuff.
Hold on. Let me catch up your wife on what's going on in the episode. Oh my God. We started off the episode by saying we're just going to talk about this TLC, tables, ladders, and chair matches. We're going to do a focused review of that.
No. That's not how it started.
And this is where we are. We're now in line for Jason David Frank.
That's not how it started. This is how it started. No, that's not how it started. This is how it started. It started with Steven spreading lies and falsehoods. saying that saying that I went to a SuperCon to watch wrestling, and I was like, no, wait a minute, let me stop, let me correct you, Steven. I went to the SuperCon to meet JDF. No, because I gotta build it up, because I'm trying to tell the people why I stayed for wrestling. I stayed for wrestling because I wasted an hour and a half waiting to get the tickets. I wasted an hour to get a receipt to go wait in another line for another hour or so to finally get the Green Ranger picture and be shuffled like super quickly. I can barely have like no time with him.
Who wasted your time, you or Florida SuperCon?
SuperCon.
Okay, so stop saying you wasted your own time.
I didn't say I wasted. Florida SuperCon wasted my time. Wasted like
Florida SuperCon
3 hours of my
you're
life.
The Green Ranger in the Green Ranger outfit, and all you're doing is spitting in their mouth.
No. JDF gave me the Green Ranger in the Green Ranger costume. Florida SuperCon gave me nothing. They gave me nothing but BS. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what line was what.
No, George, they gave you tables, ladders, and chairs.
Listen, and I'm telling you. But wait, let me finish. No, I gotta finish this. No, cause then, so there was one person coming around and putting more people in the line, and then somebody else come around and taking them off the line, cause it's chaos. Like cause the Lori Holden and Chandler Riggs, the Lori Holden and Chandler Riggs haven't finished, and they're stacking up this huge.
Walking Dead, George.
Shut up.
Chandler Riggs is a little boy. He's a little boy.
Shut up. Shut up.
Why are you bringing them into this? Why
Let
are you
me
bringing
finish.
them onto our wrestling podcast?
Because their lines haven't finished, and then they're stacking up a huge line of JDF fans, so large that it starts coming around where, like, the end of the line is starting at the end of the Chandler Riggs line.
Perhaps. Stop holding the mic so close.
No,
Perhaps.
wait, let me finish. We're never going to get to the wrestling. I am going to finish. I am going to finish.
Perhaps the JDF fans were overzealous. I can't talk.
John Laurinaitis.
Wait, so you guys haven't talked at all about the TLC match?
Because I'm trying to explain why I stayed for wrestling. Because I spent $60 to go to the con, and I spent like 3.5 hours or so just waiting in lines. The only cool thing I got to do was take a picture with JDF. I took a picture with Walter Jones. That was cool. But by the time we got to his table, he was leaving to go do a photo op because I spent so much time trying to get a photo with JDF. So I missed out getting a picture with Billy.
Well, you went to their panel. Their panel was
Well, it was cool. We went to the panel and stuff earlier in the day. And so, you know, it kind of felt like we hadn't done much. So that's why we stayed for the wrestling. Because I was like, damn, I paid $60. I want some people to feel the pain that I felt that day in the form of wrestling.
Hey, George, you have given us plenty of pain.
George, is it wrestling time or is it morphine time still? Is it not morphine time?
It's morphine time.
It's morphine time. It's morphine time. It's morphine time because everybody in that match needed to go and get medical attention after the con.
It was really awesome.
Hold on, I'm gonna close up. Hold on, and then we could break down TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls, cause George is gonna derail you.
And I'm gonna give you the red light special. So I'll just continue anyway.
First of all, George, it would have taken you like 10 seconds to say, no, I didn't come for wrestling. I came for Jason David Frank. And that would have been the end of it. And then you could have talked about tables, ladders, and chairs. But no. It's just 10, 15
I gotta give people the true Hollywood story. I gotta give people the true Hollywood story. Yes.
Of waiting in line.
Yes, I gotta give people.
Waiting in line escapades of George.
Yes. For sure. I didn't even tell you guys everything about the waiting in line.
Oh my god.
Because the first time, I'll just say it. The first time I was waiting in line, the first time I was waiting in line, JDF was like super cool. He was throwing out. Well, since you're not here, I'm gonna just talk about the waiting in line. So JDF was really cool. He was throwing out.
The Waiting in Line podcast.
He was throwing out cool stickers and stuff, and I didn't get one.
I'm just George waiting in line somewhere. We need to have the best. We need to have a best of podcast. Best waiting in line stories. What's his catchphrase?
Wait. So I got.
What's John Laurinaitis' catchphrase? I don't know John Laurinaitis' catchphrase. Oh no, what happened? Okay, hold up. Good. Okay.
Finish telling you about waiting in line.
Oh my god.
I barely slept.
Oh, you didn't sleep?
I fell asleep like at 3, and then I woke up like at
What time did you leave?
like 6:50 to take my girlfriend. We were there till like 2 a.m. because we stayed for the Buffy live shadowcast, which was by a comedy troupe called Pineapple Shaped Lamps, that I was avoiding like the plague the entire con.
Was it cool though?
Because I thought it was gonna be shitty, and
It was awesome.
the Buffy shadowcast was really good. And then they had, instead of the commercials that would be in the show, they put their sketches that are commercial parodies, and they were hilarious. I recommend everyone to check out Pineapple Shaped Lamps. They were very funny.
Sucks, Steven. And
What?
I wanted to see the Mighty Morphin Shadowcast, and you didn't let me because you said it was gonna be crap.
It's all my fault. Oh, great walk and talk, George. This is a great walk and talk.
Yeah, this is great. So while I was waiting in line, he was throwing out stickers and stuff, and I didn't get one. But he had more by his table, but I didn't get to go like up to his table and talk to him and stuff because I only had enough money to pay for the photo op later. So I had to.
No, there's winds like blowing on it.
And then while we were waiting in line, he was like really cool and he threw out shirts to the crowd and stuff. But of course, like me and my wife, we got our hands on it, and this fucking asshole just pulls it out like a fucking douchebag.
So the moral of the story is JDF is awesome. Everything else in the universe sucks.
Yes, waiting in line sucks.
You sound like a rational Jason David Frank fan.
FSC volunteers suck. They don't know what's going on.
Is your wife leaving without us, George?
Maybe. I might be staying here alone. I might have to walk home.
George is
And
you today.
and what else sucks? Fans.
You could invite us into the car, George.
Shitty fans stuck. Let's go.
George, I hope your suspension doesn't die for having the heaviest load of people you've ever had in here.
So, yeah.
So more waiting in line? Is there any, did you do any more waiting in line?
Please, I want to hear more waiting in line
We need to get all the outline waiting out right now.
Well,
okay, so last night at the Buffy Live Shadowcast, we had stayed behind because we were at the show before them, because we had to charge our phone in the room, and then the Buffy people came out. I'm just killing time until George thinks of something genius.
No, I am.
Okay, go.
No, so more people being assholes.
Yeah. In line, waiting in line.
So I was waiting because I wanted to take a picture with Walter Jones, and there was a guy, and he was talking.
In line?
No, he took a picture with Walter Jones, and then he was still talking to him.
So
and
there was
then,
no line for waiting.
How many pictures did you
Hold on.
attend?
There was nobody there. We were the only people there.
No, there was somebody
You're
that.
just waiting by a
Wait,
thing,
no,
like,
so there was somebody that was already taking a picture with him.
Yeah.
But we were next, and then we were telling Walter Jones, oh yeah, like we want to take a picture with you or whatever, and out of nowhere some guy just fucking like walks like right next to Walter Jones, like, oh, I want to take a picture.
No, he
and
didn't say that.
I'm like,
He
fucking.
goes, yo, I want to take a picture with you right now.
And
Was he dressed as? Was
He
he?
was so rude. Like he
He
didn't
was like so fucking rude.
What was he wearing?
But Walter Jones was like super cool, and he recognized that we were first, and he took a picture with us, and his assistant like took the picture on the phone so we could both be in it and stuff. And we told him how funny he was at the Q&A, and he was really cool.
So,
But people were just super dicks at this con.
So is Walter Jones the funniest man you've ever seen in live on stage?
He's like the funniest guy, and he's like, he's really cool about,
But George found out he's Wayne Brady's half brother. I don't know.
No shit.
Yes, he looks like him too. I don't know.
For real.
Tomorrow we'll do part 2 with the TLC
one here?
match.
So everyone has
We're never gonna talk about
everyone has to wait in line for the next episode
episode.
to hear about TLC, bitch.
Yeah.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, because you ain't going to find no TLC in this podcast.
The next one, tomorrow.
Someone you end there.
Get someone to say the Spanish announce table really loud.
The Spanish announce table.
Thank you, Luisana, for being the episode. Good job, George.
All right. That was cold. Later. The Spanish announce table.
Together we are the Spanish announce table.
This podcast is brought to you by Wunderblog.com.
Hail Thunder. Hail Thunder.
Wundercast? Give it up for Wundercast, man. What an adorable name.
You're listening to the Wundercast.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, Green Ranger. You're listening to Wundercast.
Subscribe to the Wundercast.